Greetings, programs. Greetings, programs. Greetings, programs. Greetings, programs. Anchor Infernail here. Anchor Infernail here. Anchor Infernail here. Another episode of Drunkins and Dragons. Drunkins and Dragons. Not bad. Is it still working? Hey guys, what's going on? Whoa, I'm bright. That's what happens when you move the camera so abruptly. I was just, whiling away the morning, cutting and scratching. Well. Why is it so damn bright in here? There's like a sun. That's not a thing that we have in these parts of the world. I am disoriented by the sun. Welcome back to Dungeons and Dragons. We're gonna play D&D like big badass. Oh man, yeah, I know, Jim. That's right. This is Jim down here. Jimmy. Yeah, his name's Jim. What is going on? What normally you would cut all this out with editing. Makes you look all smart and prepared. None of which am I. Okay. This morning, mainly two things. Three. One, chillin. Two, I need to work on Usk, which is the Lizardfolk barbarian that's in our 5e group now. And since I know that my medium sculpts are going to transfer pretty well into miniatures, which is awesome. They're a little oversized, but I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to sculpt the characters that are in our group right now and then get those to Shapeways and get them back, and then we'll all have custom-made minis for our table, which will be bala. People going to have to holla. So let's work on that first in medium, like we always do, so that way you guys can drink your coffee, eat your cinnamon toast crunch, your eggs and your bacon meats, and so on and so forth. So I won't see your comments for a while I have the goggles on. But then once I'm done, I'll just do like Usk's like head and maybe a little bit of the shoulders. And then once I'm done with that, I'll come on back. And I had several messages over the week just asking to do like a chill out and Q&A type session instead of like bombarding you guys with some kind of idiotic tabletop agenda, just to kick it on the stream and just sort of be like, how do I cast inspiration? How do I cast bardic knowledge? That kind of stuff. And I'll be like, I have no idea. Okay, so let me just move some windows around here. Let me just get rid of that one there. And here I go. Ah! God, I look like I am like burning in nuclear fire in there. Okay, so let's hop into medium and hope everything works. There you're going to see worlds within worlds within worlds. Cameras within cameras within cameras. And we will kill that. Bring this up. Oh, grab my little hand bits here. Let's just drop down a bit. Okay. This is where I have to go completely on faith. Oh, look. Top secret shit. Ooh. Everything working? I think we're working. Yeah, what's this little gentleman? What are you all about, my dwarvish friend? I bet you're from upcoming content. Well, goodbye for now. Alright, let's start a new scene. Let's get down to business here. Now, I don't know much about lizards. I really don't. So, I don't know, like, you know, with people, I have like a great command of shapes and stuff. Well, at least for me, you know, compared to when I was like 12. But with lizards, I have no idea how they're really shaped. So I'm just going to kind of go with it here. I'm going to imagine it's a little bit of a dragon-like shape. And then go from there. But, you know, lizards have some of these really weird, like, mouthy shapes and, like, some strange stuff going on. So something like that. But I wanted like a sort of a lizard with an underbite, since he is a barbarian. Poor barbarians are associated with having an underbite, I guess, in my world. There's this little breathing thing. So you guys are getting used to seeing this kind of stuff by now, so I don't have to talk to you. Those look like mouse ears. What is wrong with you, dude? All right, and I'm going to try it. So, just to keep the banter rolling while I'm working here, we had an awesome night of gameplay. So props out to my dungeon master, the Big D. He keeping it real simple as far as what we've been doing, but as you guys probably all know all too well, you know, a lot of times just good old-fashioned, you know, knocking skulls as a group and having a lot of close calls and stuff is super duper fun. You don't need a ton of like mystery and intrigue and shocking surprises. Just I got dropped so hard I made 5 total death saves. So I was on that epic 6th death save where the whole farm is, you're either gonna pop up because it's your 3rd success or you're gonna drop for good because it's your 3rd failure. It's like, man, that 3rd death save is crazy. Crazy town. Up in my face. Okay, here we go. So this is kind of my lizard head. And I won't do the neck because you guys know I like to keep my head on a separate layer so I can pose it later. Alright. Yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. The hardest part is going to be this mouth and like making this mouth feel right. They have these weird mouth lines on lizards. Like I said, I just don't know lizards. But I think we're looking pretty good. I think that might be a little too much nostril. Them strowls. Sporting mad strowls, B. Anyway. Alright, there we go. So, you know, this gives you guys a chance to work a little bit on your own campaign. I bet a lot of you have game night tonight. This is my bye week, so I'm free tonight, so I'm going to kick it. Yeah, you know, get out your notebooks. Oh, you guys probably saw in my last tome video, I showed the my new book, right? And I got this like miniature book. It's too damn small. I thought it was going to be so cool because I had a tiny little journal that I could fit in my back pocket. The thing is so small you can write like 4 words on a line. And I'm all about economy in your Dungeon Master's journal, but criminy, that's not economy. That's not workable. It's not cool, man. All right, let's get into these eyes. Now, lizards have weird, flat, almost like lidless eyes, right? So I think just to get that shape quickly, instead of sculpting my way there, I'll just use a one of these little guys. And it'll give me the right shape. So I'm going to need some more resolution in this bad mama. There we go. So before I get into that eye, sometimes when you crank up resolution, you just get a little bit of mesh artifacting because it's adding so many voxels. All right. Hankering Fernell, what the hell's a voxel? I have no idea, you guys. None. It has something to do with things that are awesome. I know that much. Okay, cool. So now we're going to get into the teeth. And with them teeths, I want some nice, sharp but small teeth. You know, isn't that weird when lizards have like sharp little small teeth? You're kind of creeped out by it. Oh, come on. Seriously? No. That's closer. But even that isn't quite right. I'm going to have to start where I can't even see my tool. There we go. And I don't think I want like snaggletooth action going on. Look at this other controller. I'm going crazy. I do not have the ideal setup for my my Oculus here in the house because I have so much shit going on in my weird ADD life. So there's like all kinds of stuff around my my infrared sensors. Okay, now I'm going to take, I don't want to get too snaggletooth, so I'm going to get rid of the taper, and I'm just going to put in these little teeth that are like in here. See that? Because I like it like a lot of little teeth on it, especially if it's going to be a player character and not a monster. He shouldn't have like insane fangs and stuff like that. Doesn't seem to fit. I think it's better to have these kind of little things going on. Well, will this survive on a mini? I'm not sure, but you know, you reach a point where you can't see the future, so why fret it? It's like Tony Robbins said, focus on things you can control, right? And I can control these little teeth. All right. These streams are so weird. You know, so that whole time we were having technical difficulties, everything was totally fine. It was just YouTube like slowly ramping up the stream, so sorry about that. All of you are probably half drunk by now. So if I can harvest the natural vibration in my hand, usually that's an enemy on my sculpts, but in this particular case it could help me do this sort of scaling that I'm going to need to do. If you guys have been watching anything with Oculus Medium, there's this guy Geo who's been doing sort of scaly creatures, and his skills are ridiculous. If you have a combination of skill and patience, you can do absolutely anything in this world, I swear. I think I didn't need those extra strokes there. All right, so let's get this top brow ridge figured out. You know, they always have that kind of extra monkey brow. You've got to love the monkey brow. Know it, embrace it, become it. Yeah, see, like normally these little striations and ridges here would be my enemy, so I would smooth them and work them. But on a lizard, shit, man, I'm flying high. Ugh, I have an underbite because I'm a barbarian. I want to eat human fingers. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. All right, then we need to get this kind of, they have this weird little downturned joint. Hey, this is looking pretty good. That looks like a lizard dude to me. You know, you feeling that? I mean, I can't see what you say, but I hope you say, oh yeah, Hank. Dude, I'm feeling that. I'm with it. Okay, now I'm going to take this little Jordan Allman thing, and I'm trying to make these weird little breathing membranes that they have. You know what I mean? I think maybe a ball is going to be better for that. A little more organic. There we go. Well, let's get it. Keep him from becoming a machine on accident. Okay, then just like before, I will grab the Jordan Almond and put that in there. You guys know this little thing, right? I'm not crazy. There's some kind of little thing they have on the back of their jaw that's like some kind of, it's like how they smell or something. God, lizards are so weird. It's no wonder we made war with them at the Alamo. Alright, so there's some weird little veiny things here. And then he kind of has these striated ridges, which, you know, take him back to his Cretaceous roots. You know, they have this kind of shit going on, right? Boy, Medium was just made to make lumpy things. You know, I'm sure you guys saw I'm going to be sculpting down at Oculus on Wednesday afternoon. And I don't think I'm going to be doing fantasy, though. I'm going to do some mechanical stuff. And it'll be awesome. But I was just thinking about it because, like, it can be in some ways more challenging to do really clean mechanical work. Because, you know, it's kind of like clay. Like, imagine modeling a Gundam with clay. That can be a little tough. Okay, so we're going to get into some larger structures here. And then I wanted him to have these kind of spiny, almost hair-like things, like this. So I just need to get my act together. Feel where the line is going to be. Something like that. Doesn't need much. And then I think to taper them out, I'll just, sometimes you can use the smooth to, yeah, there we go. The smooth will combine voxels. So if you can combine voxels on a small, narrow object, they'll all join and start to taper together like that. So it's a little more controllable way to create tapering than to just use your fingers. Because God knows mine are not skilled. All right, so let's go here. He's lacking some lumps. You lack lumps. I find your lack of lumps disturbing. You're all that's left of that messed up religion, you tool. All right, here we go. Does he have a super chin? No, screw super chin. Too human. Okay, now we are going to need some detail in this eye so that he catches an expressive kind of shadow. And usually what I'll do there is totally against all instinct, but I will just cut a hole like that. And what you get with the hole is that the shadow becomes the part of the eye the pupil. And that way when you move him around in the light, there's this funny effect where he's like always looking at you. So you see there, he's kind of looking forward, and then here as the light changes, he'll kind of feel like he's looking back. And it's because the shadow will move. It's really cool. It's much more evident on a big round pupil like you saw in the secret content from earlier. But here I kind of like the jaggedy tip that has accidentally been created on the pupil. Like, that's pretty sweet, man. Check that shit out. Big old blizzard baller. I am Usk the Lizard Man. Actually, the cool thing about him, well, one of the many, many cool things, he's played by my friend Bob, who is a fantastic role player, is he's like a really minimal character. Our entire first session, he only said 2 lines in character. One was no, and one was that's mine. Now, it sounds like, you know, a troll, right? But in fact, it fit the character so good. He's just awesome. He already kind of has a really special role in the group, a real distinct personality. I think your average lizard man has a bit more neck than a freaking dwarf, so the traps don't start till like there. Start the traps! I accidentally painted that on the wrong layer because I'm strange in the brain. There we go. Look at my curved neck. I've got many. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He doesn't do any of the hilarious lizard tropes. All right. So the traps. Damn, that fool stacked in the traps. It's a little too much. There we go. There we go. And there he's starting to come together. Cool, man. He's got some weird, like, vertebrae things going on. Then eventually, you know, I want to do, you know, kind of this whole jam right here. He's like our battle axer, so he's got to be stacked as hell. Yoked. Straight up swole, know what I mean? I still feel like this is just too human. So I'm going to keep cutting down all the way down to here. And then, and like, I'm seeing they have more of a thing going on like this, right? Then the rib cage would be like here. Like there. That would be the front of his rib cage. Still too high. Like that. Yeah, there you go. How do I know that's correct? I don't know, because the good Lord made me weird. There you go. And he has this more collapsed sternum. More like a quadruped on 2 legs rather than Arnold, you know? And then these kind of, this weird shoulder placement with bizarre traps and stuff. Bizarre traps. like a piece of Munzinger cheese with a string attached. What a bizarre trap. Yeah, there we go. So now I'm just going to have to work out the anatomy. So if I was working in clay, you know, I would be rolling tubes like this and then skinning the tubes. Yeah, that's cool. That always gets you a good sense of like how your musculature is going to feel beneath the skin. And then depending on the kind of definition and the tone of the character, you can conceal or reveal as much of that as you want. That's too many abs. That makes him look like his guts are hanging out. There we go. He's got a 20-pack. Life of the party when you got a 20-pack. You know what I mean? God, today is so wonky. I'm just digging this Saturday morning jam, you guys, because on Saturday morning, man, it's all good. You don't really want to start having a bunch of fun yet, but you know there's fun in store because it's Saturday. And so, like, it's feel-good flavors in the morning on Saturday. That's all I'm saying. Just chill. I know you guys probably miss seeing me chugging Jaeger, which I'm probably not going to do at 9 in the morning on Saturday because then I will be dead by 1 p.m. All right, cool. So he's got a weird trachea that's like overly evident and this kind of... And then, so now where I don't want him to look too skeletal, I can just smooth out some of my work and I'll keep that musculature. See what I mean? But he's not like a ghoul. Like he has actual skin. I have skin. Okay, so now just to finish, and then we're just going to move on to Q&A mode. I just want to do some of the lumping. So to do the lumping, I'm going to need more voxels. There you go. So see, when you have more voxels available, they can tuck in tighter shapes and keep tighter forms and so on and so forth. And there we go. He kind of has like, almost like T-Rex-like markings and shapes on him. But not feathers. I don't buy into this dinosaur with feathers stuff. It's heresy. There we go. I'm too old to adopt the dinosaur with feathers theory. I will do what Pavlov could not. All right. So there you go. There's the start. And then we'll probably do some of these little gentlemen. Right? Just a little smaller. I will do what Pavlov could not. Here we go. Use that smooth tool to crush these suckers down. You overdid it, dude. All right. Cool. Usk, the lizard barbarian. Well, he's not a lizard. He's lizard folk. But here, let me also I get tired of this. It starts driving me crazy. What's that up there? Whoa, that's my spotlight. There we go. I like it to move with my sculpt. Okay, get rid of that menu. There we go. This way, as I move around, the lighting stays and I don't slide under the light. So I get to look at a dark side and I can look at a dark light side. So there it is, guys. I hope that was fun to watch. Usk, the Lizardfolk Barbarian, is underway. So I'll probably get some more space in here. Get him, you know, I'll try to do this toward the end of the sculpt. Right? Do this kind of thing. And then we'll get the arms going and he'll have like a real sense of life to him. And there you go. Sweet. Usk. Okay. Now let's see if we can figure out how these windows move around. It's always so confusing when you come out of virtual space and into real space. Just like, what is happening? Where am I? Who are you people? I'm huge. Hey, okay, is everybody still there? Did that work? Okay, awesome. Where's my coffee? Hang on just a sec. Oh, there it is. I will do what Pavlov could not. Oh, okay. Hey, I'll be right back. The dog has biological needs, so just hang in a second. Come on. there pooping. Okay, well, it's Sunlit Hankering Fernale coming at you from here in the lair of Dungeons and Dragons. So all of those previous comments, I'm sure you guys have been chilling, talking about cool stuff, but I didn't see a damn thing. Hey, Aaron, Keith, Russell, Joseph Sterling. Whoa, we got 120 weirdos in here? Are you kidding me? That's the biggest stream we've ever had. And for what? For what? Okay, so remember I was talking about that journal? Where is it? This thing. I'm going to have to eat my words on this one, fellas. Folks. Look at this. I was like, man, this is so cool. So I started working in it, right? You can't fit anything in this. I'm still basking in nuclear fire, by the way. You can't write anything in this. Forget about this thing. I've got to go get a normal sized one. I have needs as a dungeon master, and that does not fulfill my needs. Ooh. Okay, so while I bask in nuclear fire, that bag of clothes back there is like my dog made a bed for himself. Saying you don't accept dinosaurs had feathers theory. They can have like a couple of feathers on them to look cool, like Turok style. But not covered in frickin' feathers. Are you kidding? That is horrible. The drunken army grows. Okay, so let's get past the weird stage. And let's get into the meat of it. Who's playing tonight? What you up to? Let's talk about some D&D. As for me, I am working... once I get out of the house here and clean up my act, I'm looking a little scruffy. I'm going to continue to build my ICRPG campaign, which my group has assembled, and we are starting to play on January 23rd. You discovered me last week, Paul Gwynn. That's great. Well, welcome, dude. You got some catching up to do. Way too small for your imagination. I know. I think a lot of people were like, what the fuck are you doing with that tiny ass thing? What is this, The Borrowers? Where do you find the journals? A lot of people ask me this. I just go to freaking Barnes & Noble like a plebe and walk among the masses. And I'm like, hey, look, a book without stuff already written in it. I'll take it. Yo, T. Drew, what you know, B? Chicken Man. No, see, I rebuke the theory that dinosaurs are like chickens. They can have a couple feathers, but you got to remove the feathers and then it's a dinosaur. 3 games today. Holy shit, that's awesome. Just need to vacuum, grab some drinks. Yeah, there's all these to clean up. 6 game, room design on 6 rooms in a row. Holy balls. That is fucking insane. Weekly, oh, that's great. So a bunch of you guys. Hey, Adramir, I am player in our 5th edition campaign, and I am dungeon master in the ICRPG campaign. Dungeon Crawl Classics. Oh, great. Playing again for 3 years. So, you know, everyone is always having these conundrums, problems, and questions. So let's get a good one out there. Anybody got a good one? Oh, okay, here we go. I'm working on a boat for my mice adventurer. I assume you mean like a mouse guard type world. Any encounter idea? This similar question just came up recently about doing a boat encounter. One of the fun one that we came up with together on Facebook was an encounter where the boat, you're trying to reclaim or steal the boat and it's actually drifting off the moorage. And you have this fun moment where all the moorage and the planks, the ropes and all the cargo is all kind of slipping off the dock or collapsing or swinging, and like the boat is slowly getting further and further from the dock, and part of the party's on the dock because they're fighting. The other party's trying to get on the boat, but the boat is trying to escape or going adrift into the rocks, and that puts a great timer on everything. So you have a fun board because you have half your board is static, like the dock, and it's just there, and then the other half of your board is just a giant moving platform, and that gap is what it's all about, crossing that gap in a timely fashion, or not crossing it, regaining control of the boat, ramming it into the moorage, and like there's all kinds of fun that can happen. So that would be one of my ideas, would be either use 2 boats, which is a little wilder, but dock and boat, when those 2 meet and all the chaos, fantastic. How do you get into playing with miniatures? First thing I would do is just get yourself a bundle of them, and don't go to the store because it's way overpriced. Go on Amazon and get like a WizKids pack. And they're pre-painted, they're plastic. They're not the coolest minis in the world, but they will get you rolling. and get a little table going like I have back there, just with fun minis. They don't have to be minis that match what you're doing. Just get a bunch of them, sit down by yourself with your buddy, and just be like, what do I do with these? And instantly you will see what you need to do with them. You're probably going to need a grid to make it really feel cool. If you're just starting out, then it'll make sense to kind of do it like a board game, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's my move, and so on and so forth. How do you make travel over a long distance from point to point interesting? Oh man, this is such a common question. Such a common question. Generally, I would say don't bother with the details involving just travel. Like, in Perilous Wilds, they have a lot of cool tables and things like that, and using up supplies, and it's kind of neat. And if you have a really important question, try to pace yourself so I can answer a few of these. But yeah, I don't think that analyzing and rolling for and randomizing what happens during a journey is interesting. What is interesting, if you have an encounter you want to stitch into your world, the road is a great place to drop it on people, because the road is a vulnerable place. The road is a place where you need to go a certain direction, so you always know that the players aren't going to just want to go back. They're not going to give up. Players never do that. They're always going to try to keep going to their destination, so you can bank on that as the dungeon master and use it against them. If you go listen to Encounter Machine, our first podcast was actually a road encounter called Fog of Time, which I know that, was it Bungwires or was it Ben that just ran that? There's so many posts. They just ran it last night and posted some great photos, and it's where there's time travel and it's a road travel encounter kind of combined. So my advice would be, just brush over if you don't have anything cool to do on the travel, but come up with at least one cool thing that happens on their way. It slows them down, it teaches them a little more about the story, but I don't use tables to make any of my content. I don't roll for what happens as far as encounters or wilderness encounters. I never do any of that. I don't like it. It scrambles up my flow. I want the difficulty and the contents of an encounter to directly contribute to the story and the tone of what's coming, or what happened before, or what a player implied is going to happen. I don't like the tables to determine that stuff. So I will use a long journey as an excuse to have a fun wagon chase, to have the cart break down, and then you're stuck there for a night. Oh, you happen to be in the woods where the blue hag has been devouring children for the last 250 years. Okay, so how do you keep players from backtracking organically? I try and make them forward. Whenever they get below 2/3, they try to head back to refit. It's common. That's a common problem. You have to have an explanation that clearly traps them. And anytime have imminent bad guys, there's no refit, there's no rest. They can get 30 seconds of rest before the bad guys show up. And your bad guys better be gnarly. I'm talking army, or the blob, or like the doors they come through collapse. Like, you need an explicit reason. There is no freaking going back, or they're sliding downward, or God knows what. And make sure that there's a lot of contrast between the times when they're completely trapped and being chased and when they are free. Because if they're always trapped and being chased, they're going to hate you. So there should be times when they kind of do have some freedom to back up and heal and regenerate. I'll be right back. I gotta let the dogs in. Dogs. Poor dogs, they come running in, they're all excited. I'm like, good boy. I go to pat him on the head, thumb in the eye. Okay. And be careful with time travel. It really can be a can of worms. So keep it real tight, keep it simple, and don't imply that like time is unraveling unless that's what you want to do with your campaign. Yeah, I love what you're saying there, Adramir. There is no such thing as a random encounter when you have a purpose in mind. And I think in general, still speaking to the sort of the go back and refit problem, I think a lot of dungeon masters out there are having trouble with the sort of the sandbox problem, which is that given too much freedom, boredom is inevitable. And I think you see this in a lot of things, like in video games as well, which is like just given a do whatever, you just start wanting to light trees on fire. It doesn't quite have the imminence that a story that people are going to be like pulse pounding trying to get to the next chapter. It's more like maybe we should go start a salt mine. And if your characters are thinking that way, it's over. I would end the game. I mean, they need to be saving people. They need to be pressing forward on an offensive. They need to be escaping. They need to be barely surviving. They need to be seeking out the supreme power. Like, they need all this stuff, not kind of like, okay, you guys, you're in the plains. What do you want to do? That's not that fun. Dungeon Saga miniatures. I will check that out. That sounds awesome. Big fan of miniatures. Ovaltine, peace out. Have a good one, man. What do you think the amount of terrain on the table becomes an obstacle? Oh man, what a great question. It becomes an obstacle when it's stopping your ability to follow your story, your nose in the story. This is a common problem for crafting DMs. You guys know this pain all too well. It's like, you know that the story wants to go a certain place, but you don't really have an ice terrain set or a swamp terrain set or whatever. And so it's going to be cheesy because your players are really used to like literal terrain. Like you model what you play. And at that point, it does become a problem. Because if you go from a fully modeled terrain game with players back to a dry erase mat, it is a violent change. It is freaky. Whereas if you start your campaign on dry erase mat, it's good. That's the standard. Everybody's used to it. So I think at that point, it can be a real problem. And this is basically why I'm going to spend 2017 in Icy RPG land. I'm going to do the index card jam because the 3 games that I ran last year that used the index card method, which they weren't pre-made. I was sharpieing them on the spot. We had the craziest, funnest, wildest stories, and they were such a blast. And all the mechanical play was still there. And I was just kind of like mind blown. So I'm going to chill on the crafting stuff for a little while. And you know, I've never really been a heavy crafting DM until recently. So it's not like some kind of tragedy to me. It's just all part of the fun. I've used boredom as a tool for the session. It's way more badass in my head than it was in the actual game. Man, how many things are more badass in your head than they are in the actual game? Like 70% of them for me. Okay. Acquisitions Incorporated, I don't like at all. That's not D&D. That's a commercial for D&D with people sort of sitting down and pretending to play for a little while. D&D is not a performance art. It's a private thing for you and your friends to be yourselves, not to be on a TV show. That filmed D&D is no more real than The Big Bang Theory are real people in an apartment. When shit gets in the way because it's unpractical. Yeah, kind of same thing, Adramir. Same thing. Papercraft. Oh yeah, Papercraft is dope. How do you organically increase challenges for metagame who try to take over a party? Ooh, that is a dirty, gigantic question. And I love your icon, by the way. Is that like Thomas Jefferson or like Alexander Hamilton? Who is that? Anyway, how do you organically increase challenges for a meta player who tries to take over? So he's like, oh, it's another one of these encounters. All we need to do is find the treat and learn the timer, and we're going to beat this shit. You over there, use your rage bonus. Yeah, do your rage attack. How do you organically increase the challenges? First of all, you've got 2 things on your hands. 1, organically increase challenge the natural way. Up your room DC, spike your damage, and reduce the hit points on your enemies. I know that sounds a little wild, but enemies with high HP give you time to kill them. It's weird, but it's true. Reduce the HP of your enemies and spike up their damage. They're way more deadly. Like 12 Sturges with triple the normal damage are way more deadly than 1 Fang of Yinogu. So that's the first technique. Do that. Use the environment. The environment is the ultimate enemy and can never be metagamed. If there is a cloud of poison gas wafting across the battlefield, there's no metagame that can stop it. You have to make the saves. There you go. Metagaming isn't all bad. We call it telepathy at our table, and it's not allowed or encouraged. Second one is the second problem you have, which is your real problem, which is someone, and if I get your meaning right, someone who's sort of trying to strongman or ham fist the group. That can be a real bummer for other players because it can make them feel, you know, like they aren't getting their chance to shine. Like this other guy is telling them how to use their abilities and stuff. And you need to quash that with honesty, kindness, and grace the moment it appears. If you delay, it'll cause some weirdness. So the moment, it's just like a bully, man. You see a bully, you instantly confront. You cannot let it abide because you need to set your moral tone as a human being. So there, I think that's my answer. Sounds like the player that's not merging. Yeah. How do you feel about Critical Role? Same thing, Jocko. It's actors pretending to play D&D in a filmed and edited environment. I can tell you because I am on YouTube, the edited me is not real. Even this is like pretty controlled. It is completely different when people come to your house and you want them to be themselves. Like you want to hang out as friends, not create entertainment. It's a wildly different mindset. Just like I said, like people on sitcoms act like they're friends because that's the sitcom. People in filmed D&D are acting like they're doing that because they know the camera's on and cameras do weird things to people. Hey, greetings from Israel. Shachaftal. I love that name. Good to have you, man. Glad you're watching. Don't play with people who have large hands. No, large-handed people are your friends. It's the tiny-handed ones you got to watch out for. Aaron Nelms, what's up, my brother? You guys should go over to this guy's channel. Someone throw a link up. It's called Nordic Forge. They're just a young channel. They're like kicking it at a lunchroom table, drinking hot sauce and playing D&D. They're awesome. So go check them out. They're a bunch of swamp rats down in the dirty South, and they play like badasses. Hey, wait, there's too much happening. What's your question there, Aaron? Bringing short one-shot 5A, but I'm not sure if I should do a cliffhanger or do... Well, if it's a true one-shot, yeah, don't fuck with any kind of cliffhanger or anything. Give a big old shave and a haircut on the end. And ever after you were hailed as heroes, but one of you suffered from male pattern baldness. You know, something, boom, just end that sucker. If you have any intention of it becoming a campaign, then you got to do the cliffhanger. A big one, too. Like your ship gets stolen. How do I stop players from killing everyone they see? Put some consequences on it, man. They need to kill somebody important on accident. It's my brother, and he's been playing 20 years. Every time he claims he's being necessarily punished for a good time, for being good at the game. Oh my God, get this guy out of your game. I don't care if it's your brother. That is the enemy of everything fun in D&D. You're penalizing me for being better at this than everybody. Oh my God, just get away from my table until you get your head straight. Sorry that answer is so tough, but are you kidding me? That is the opposite of everything that's fun about D&D. D&D is fun because you work together. Even if you're evil, you work together and you have fun together and you respect each other. Not like, I'm the best guy here. What do you think of a mix of episodic and continuing? I can't keep up with all these questions, you guys. Episodic and continuing. Episodic is really fun. Doing one-shots is super fun, but nothing quite beats the big context of a longer game. It's just moving too fast. I see address design. Oh, room design will not go away. There will still be 3D room designs. Don't worry. It's just for games. You know, there's room for lots of stuff in this world. There is no best. Shadowrun is awesome, but the dice pooling is ridiculous. I play with kids. Metagaming happy to discourage. Rating to just kill them. Kids will cry. Good. Welcome. Welcome to the adventure. But make the death fun. Instantly get into, now we get to make new characters. But it has to happen. If they're like 6, it shouldn't happen. But if they're 10 or 12, they're ready for it. They watch TV. Do it. Metagames and kids, that's fine. They're learning by metagaming. But that is a completely different thing. DMing for kids is a completely different thing. As a DM, do you feel that the world encounter falls short to your players from what you imagined? Is there a fix? Man, that's a great question. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. The players tend to make how cool an encounter is, not the DM. You can do prep, and it can help, and it's cool. Your storytelling is important. Much more important is your energy level. If you are high energy and high enthusiasm, it's going to be a great game. As far as how good any one encounter is, it is up to the players. They make the encounters awesome, or they are bored by them, looking at their phones, metagaming each other, using telepathy, being jerks, or not interested or hungry or whatever. But how awesome any one encounter is, you can mitigate it a little bit, but man, it's up to them. Just accept it. The key is when you come to the table, be extremely excited and don't let dead space happen. I see way too many dungeon masters willing to just let the table be dead for moments. And do not do it. Fill that table with every ounce of energy you have. And then when they're tired, which they will be after like an hour, take a freaking break, meaning step away from the table, talk, have some pizza. You're not playing anymore. Then sit back down, and then it's all table again. It's all energy. Boom, 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 boom. Whoa, holy shit. Then there's a break, not mixture. Are we on a break or are we playing? That is just the death of the game. Favorite version of D&D is definitely 5th edition, by far. Second place would be the rules cyclopedia that came out for 2E. I played that for years. Lots of monsters, lots of blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Here's my Nordic Forge D&D channel. Yay. Oh, speaking of which, there's a minor lull in questions. YouTube just announced this new feature called Super Chat, and we're going to be using it as soon as I figure it out. It lets you guys throw $1 or $2 or $5 or 300 in the tip jar to get your questions in the chat feed highlighted. I know it's a little cheesy, but it's also just a way to also say props to you. Here's a couple bucks. YouTube has discovered that the fan funding option, the tip jar, no one uses it, and it was a complete flop. And it is a lot of effort and a lot of lifestyle to make a decent channel, I've found. And not here. It's not happening right here on the videos. This is where we're just kicking it. A lot of the I guess what you could call work or effort in the YouTube channel happens where no one sees it. It's in chats that I have with everybody privately, and it's really actually trying to make this hobby better in an honest way. The YouTube just happens to be one of those mechanisms. So it's always great to get support, because my long-term goal is to, just do this and do Runehammer games for a living, so I can recede from the commuting world and go fully into the hobby world and really get into this and be a part of it. Oh man, Keith, yeah, that sucks. What's your favorite setting? As far as a unique one, I'd have to say Dark Sun. As far as just a stalker, I'd have to say Forgotten Realms. It's just easy. And then, Forgotten Realms for me has become Alfheim. It's become the Runehammer fantasy world, which just continues to grow. I'm sure a lot of you guys have this kind of stuff. You just accidentally create worlds over the course of years. Yeah, Subbers jumping into Nordic Forge. Great. How do you make surrounding city, region, or countryside feel realistic without a villages? Well, first of all, why do you need villages? This is a bigger question. Why do you need a countryside that feels real? Is there something happening in the countryside? Is there something happening in the villages? Otherwise, don't make them. Don't put people there. Don't envision it. Don't do anything. There is no countryside. There's no village. Unless there's a particular village where terrible abominations have been spotted moving in the night. You see what I'm saying? Like, I cannot say make a countryside. Oh, God. And I did this early in my DMing life, where I would name all the villages and name all the rivers and do all this stuff, and then none of it mattered. Absolutely, but you have 6+ players, level 1 there. Yeah, okay, whatever. Thanks, it's really cool, guys. Happy to be part of the community. Oh yeah, cool. That's Aaron. Bounded ACQ. If you want a challenging fight, Horde. I'm not sure what I'm reading there. Why not? He's a well-developed character and fits so well, but I'm not sure what this discussion is. But on the other hand, it might make me play instead of DMing. I'm not sure I follow. How's it going with Simbaroom? That book's on the shelf. The best thing that I haven't published my book review video yet. God, I'm a mess. The coolest thing in Simbaroom is the spear rule, which you can get with Polearm Mastery in 5th edition. But it basically, if you have a spear, anybody entering who doesn't have a long weapon, you jump to in front of them in the initiative order. So you get, just like in 5th edition, if you have Polearm Mastery, you get a free attack when they enter spear range. It's really, really cool the way it breaks up Simbaroom. But Simbaroom has derivative math in its stats and bonus creation, and I can't stand derivative math. I do not like deriving numbers from other numbers. And it's a really cool setting, but it's also really small compared to what D&D can offer. Its monsters are a little bit weird, and they're not classic and cartoony, and you know, I'm sure it's awesome for a lot of people. If you took it seriously, I think it'd be a great game. Oh, DM PCs. Never, ever, 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 ever do it. Never, ever do that. That's like going to a kid's birthday party and you get to blow out the candles. Have you watched the Dro concert for Dragon Grin? No, I don't know what that is. Dragon Grin is dope, though. I asked, would you include a character as a DM played in a different campaign as a player as an NPC that guides the party? Never, ever, ever, ever do that. Who would you rather fight? 10 halfling-sized ogres or 1 ogre-sized halfling? I'll take the 1. Large parties, 6+. Don't do it if you can avoid it. If you can, I guess my best tip would be write initiative order on a dry erase board behind you as the dungeon master on the wall, like up here, and have the players call initiative order. That can help a lot. Also, constantly train turn speed. Turn speed, turn speed, turn speed. If you don't have your turn ready when your turn comes, you're skipped. Like, turn speed. Roll damage with your d20. Like, turn speed, turn speed, turn speed. JP Morris, it also isn't a matter of bandwidth because some DMs can do that, but it is cheating on so many levels, and it completely takes away the relationship you have with the players. Oh, concept. Yes, I have seen the drow concept in Dragon Grin, and it's fun. It's the you'll hate our drow. Yeah, it's fantastic. I already hate the drow, so hating them more is great. Any tips on making your villains relatable? Yeah. Always speak with them. A lot of NPCs you don't need to speak in their voice because, honestly, let's face it, it makes you feel really goofy. But with your supreme villain, you have to speak for him and go ahead and let him be funny. Let him be a little bit human. Also, give him a weakness that matters. You know, like Soth is one of the best. Go look up Lord Soth, read his thing, be like that. How's the dice review going? Getting there. There's a lot happening. Actually, I think I filmed like half of it. And then I was like, oh, look, a shiny thing over there. So I'll get there. I'll throw up the book review and the dice one. And if you didn't notice, I'm putting out a lot of stuff these days. So I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So those new videos will come out soon. I almost kill my NPCs. I don't kill NPCs. Oh, you mean like with monsters or something? Like, just don't track initiative. That's another way to do it. Turn speed, turn speed, turn speed. I've actually found that player called initiative is faster than not using initiative. So thank you, Big D. That's my new DM for that. I know, it's weird. I don't know what to think, but clockwise is more complex than player called initiative. How bizarre is that? Initiative sucks and doesn't bring anything to the game. Everybody's different, Adramir. Everybody's different. Some people really bank on it because you can get some oddity with not using it. So I do pay the price in my game for not using it. One rule I follow for baddies: even bad guys believe they're a good quest. Well, some of them are just, you know, freaking Azathoth. How do you organize your thoughts when you're creating a campaign? Hey, thanks for the repost, Fairy Fire JB. That's very kind of you. Well, I'm in the process of that as we speak. So what I'll do is first, like, what groceries do I want to get when I go to the campaign store in my mind? And these are moments or things that I just know are cool. I want crystal keys. I want a chick in a metal bikini chained to a frog monster. I want blah, blah, blah. And these are just completely out of my limbic system. They have no explanation or story whatsoever. But I need at least 6 of these. And then I start weaving. Then I stop. The next absolutely critical piece to organize my thoughts while building a campaign is I have to know who the characters are. The campaign has to be custom built for the players. So once they mention to me who their players are and sort of maybe a region they're interested in or from, bang, just start whipping it up. And all your focus on your campaign is the first session. There is nothing else to make. I know, controversy, weird, I'm being a hard ass. Only make the first session. That is the campaign. About halfway through making the first session, you'll see some truths starting to emerge. Maybe take notes of them, but don't make anything else. that first session has to freaking drop the bomb of awesome. If it does, the seeds will be planted, the campaign will create itself as you go. And you're just going to be trying to keep up with the beauty of peer pressure. I love the stance system in the One Ring. Makes combat tactical instead of random. Yes, that is how Mouse Guard works. And it is a bit counterintuitive and weird for D20 players, but it is really cool. There's a lot of cool options. I think this was also the mindset behind the Burning Wheel combat, which is sort of a mind-bending combat, but very, very tactical and strategic, rather than kind of like, whoa, there's damaged balls flying around. When I make a villain, I would make a counter good guy. Yep, good approach. Oh yeah, man, Black Magic is the shit. He's the crafting king right now, I would say, as far as quality. Now he just needs to last 10 years like Scotty. There you go, dude. The glove has been thrown in your front yard. You're so late, but we only just started. I don't even know what time it is. All I see is 14.3%. I don't know what that means. Where's the time on this readout? Oh, it's 10:30. Holy crap, it's been an hour already. I got a big day ahead. I need to replace this worthless micro Honey, I Shrunk My Journal BS. I need to replace that. That means driving into the world of men. Then I need to get the hell back here, get started on my ICRPG campaign, pump up the tires on my bicycle, ride my bicycle to the bar, continue working on the ICRPG campaign in the bar like a badass, and then watch some Seahawks kick the Falcons' butts. In your face, Nelms. Wait, are you from the Atlanta area? I forget. The South is basically one state to me. It's one giant, scary, vampire-infested state with pelicans and cattails. Raise your glass to Pilly Pal, man. Talk about coming in fast. This guy's hot. He's on fire. What's happening? Raise his tankard. Hey, Hank, we should get beers. Well, come watch football then. A-hole. You see, I'm building up the energy to do this day. I can do this. I really do not want to drive into the world, but I honestly, I live by the behavior of going in early to a bar when there's like 5 people there and sitting with my journal and working. It is the most supreme level of concentration. There's no pooping dogs. There's no cool video games. There's no awesome computers and all this shit to do. It's just me and my paper and my pen. Ooh, that's the DM's tempo. This is how I'm burning calories these days. You just like keek out for like 14 minutes. Okay. Cardio workout complete. A friend just offered to, hey, you just went outside, you nerd. And I think the dog sees his buddy. There's like these old Germans out back. He likes to go smell their butts. Well, now I can no longer imagine you're not a Seahawks fan. No, you could never imagine that. Louisiana. Yeah, isn't Atlanta in Louisiana? Isn't it the capital of the South? Of the... Finally, I think we might be reaching the decay point of the video. Thank God. I thought it was never going to end. You guys with your awesome questions. Are you going to back to the Matrix to continue the lizard? Yes, I will continue the lizard. Is that sculpting crap even worth streaming? I mean, oh, is Atlanta in Alabama? Because that doesn't sound right at all. I thought New Orleans was the capital of Alabama. I just wanted to give a shout of thanks. Hey, that's cool, Michael. Thanks to you too for hanging out. Good luck. Let's just keep going. That's what I want to do, is stay alive, thrive. What's the deal with your giant beholder? Is it visible back there? Yeah, you can see it next to Samus. There it is. I don't know what the hell I built that thing for, Black Magic. Dude, I don't know what I was doing. The video is really cool. It's how to make like large-scale monster armatures. And so that's neat. But I don't know what I'm doing with that thing. I just need to paint it and get it done. But yeah, I would put that on the table as a behemoth beholder. A beholmoth. Beholmoth. Fitness goals for this year. Fuck yeah, man. Keep on defining the very meaning of fighting off old age. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk tall in that gym, baby. I don't know what my goals are exactly. I think maybe just to make it to the end of another year without messing up. I was 3 weeks on the bench at the end of last year because I broke my prosthetic leg. I actually chewed out the titanium clutch in it, destroyed it. So I had to get a new leg. But I got my new leg, so I'm back in that gym, man. I'm going to destroy. Yeah, so sculpting is worth streaming. Okay, cool. I'll continue to do that then. Georgia is where Atlanta is. What the fuck? Georgia? I thought that was absorbed into Louisiana years ago. Okay, I will keep sculpting. I didn't know if that's interesting to anybody or not. It's a little bit virtual. Normally we keep it analog. Oh yeah, VR is great. You know, the developers are having a hard time coming up with a really killer game that you really want to play in a prolonged way in VR. Namely because you have a big thing on your face. So time will tell if we can get a really great game. But as far as tools go, oh my God. Medium is the tool that is going to change the universe. It's awesome. Did you make a gelatinous cube tutorial? No, it's too simple to bother with a tutorial. Take a Chessex case, cut it into a cubic shape, cover 5 of the sides with hot glue, leave the bottom open so you can engulf a character, you're done. Thank you for your room design in 3D terrain. You inspired me to get into it. Rock. We love your videos. Cool. Helped us creative juices. That's awesome, Josh. Thanks for posting, man. I appreciate that shit. Do I squat or lunge? Hell yeah, man. Do birds live in the woods? Damn right I squat and lunge. Squats, 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 squats. Everybody. Yeah, Gabriel Fisher. Get some of that cool shit from Hobgoblin and Rocket Pig and stuff. Although I want somebody to print that shit at double size. Why does everybody print it so damn small? Curious, how did you lose your leg? Oh, motorcycle wreck. Minister, I did it the easy way, as they say. Sculpting is great. And so are you. No, Ryan Legros, we are not into the whole sadistic lizard man thing. We're really trying to bring him over toward more of a human life. So he does have one bad habit, which he will eat a human finger now and again. But, you know, lizards have these really detached emotions, so we're trying to bring him into a more of a human. It's kind of like Encino Man. Oh, hell yeah, sculpting is bomb. Okay. Giving low-level players defective versions of normally powered... hell no, man. There's no such thing as an overpowered item. Just suck on that. Players deserve badass, world-breaking items. But other creatures and people want them too. So, Vorpal Sword on a level 2 character, that's a little weird, right? No, it's awesome. He's loving it. The other players are jealous. Maybe they get to borrow it. Maybe they get to use it a while. Who knows? But let the loot fall as it will. If players think that you're nerfing their loot, they're not gonna like you for this. Dudes, we need to find someone to make official Drunkards and Dragons mead. Yes. Yes, we do need to find those people. Jealous of your creativity. I'm too literal. Hey, man, don't be jealous. Just get to work. It's all practice. It's all just learning over time. There's no jealousy here between homies, right? We're working together on this problem. So just work through it and try a few, little daring things here and there, and over time you'll get better and better at it. Ass to grass squats. No, dude, my hips don't work like that, bro. My squats are like, yeah. Ooh, the deep burn. My glutes are on fire. All 3 of them. Swole Knave. Okay, this is getting retarded. That is not a good word. I mean that our growth is literally being stunted by this conversation. So I'm using the word not in the pejorative sense, but in a literal sense. This is stopping my growth as a person. Yeah, that word really, it should have been a bad word all along, but I would say in the last 10 years it really has become a bad word. But for some of us who grew up in the 80s, it's still kind of a habit word. But I'm glad that it's a bad word because it's a mean word. I didn't mean to say it. I'm sorry. It's the coffee. It is a lot of coffee. This is a very big mug, and I've had like 4 of these. Go home, your official drunk. Yes, I would love to. Let's make liquor. Let's make Drunkards and Dragons liquor. I'm a user, not a program. Hey, aren't we all? Wait, no we're not. We're all programs. The users are a myth. How much do I bench? I guess it's an appropriate question for a guy named Swole Knave. It depends on the day, my brother. It depends on the day. Sometimes I do pretty good. I could bench my weight on a good day. Just waiting to pick up dirt. That's what the program would say. Yeah, the users are a myth. Yeah, thank you. Gabriel Fisher, I think you just put a seal on this stream. This channel has raised and lowered our IQs. We have behaved well and we've behaved abominably. And we will be judged for neither, but for both. All right, so I'm going to get the hell out of here. I got a bunch of stuff to do. I don't know why this sun is out. It's so wrong. I really miss my rain. It's been sunny for like 4 days. It is unbearable. No, this is not a Lion King mug. Yeah, that's Iron Forge. What you know? What you know about that? Hey, great. That's good news, Krautos. I'm blazing in nuclear fire again. Judgment Day. Okay, I'm getting out of here, guys. Have a good Saturday. Everybody kick ass at your games tonight. Remember, bring that energy to the table. Full monkey. The whole monkey comes to the table. Leave nothing behind. And then let the dice fall as they will. May your mugs be ever full, friends. Strength, honor, Saturday. Go Seahawks. I'm sorry to the Alabama Falcons, but you are the bird who will go home broken today. Actually, wait, it's at their stadium. Sports are so confusing. Okay, guys, I'm out of here. Let's go out like how we came in. Whoop, whoop. What's that? What is that? Have a good Saturday, everybody, and keep it real. Don't steal. You'll always get a deal.
Programs. Anchor Infernail here with another episode of Drunkards and Dragons. 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 How to play D&D like play D&D like a big old badass. Just a little bit more better than you. Greetings, programs. Oportunidad de ganar los dados. Hey!